Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Maya Fay.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Miles Edgeworth. I better not show any signs of weakness today, or he'll be on me in an instant.
Mr. Edgeworth, please give the court your opening statement.
Thank you, Your Honor. The defendant, Miss Maya Fay, was at the scene of the crime. The prosecution has evidence that she committed this murder. And we have a witness who saw her do it. The prosecution sees no reason to doubt the facts in this case, Your Honor.
I see. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Let's begin then.
If we may call our first witness, Your Honor, the prosecution calls the chief... Try that again. The prosecution calls the chief officer of the scene, Detective Gumshoe. Witness, please state your name and profession to the court. Sir, my name's Detective Gumshoe, sir. I'm detective in charge of the homicides down at the precinct, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please describe for us the events of this murder. Very well, sir. Let's use the format of the office to explain. The body was found by this window here. And the cause of death? Loss of blood due to being struck by a blunt object, sir. Her weapon was a statue of the thinker found next to the body, sir. It was heavy enough to be a deadly weapon even in a girl's hands, sir.
The court accepts the statue as evidence.
Still calling it a statue? Now, detective. Yes, sir. You immediately arrested Miss Maya Fay, who was found at the scene, correct? Can you tell me why? Yes, sir. I had all evidence she did it, sir.
Detective Gumshoe, please testify to the court about this hard evidence.
As soon as the phone call came in, I rushed to the scene. There were two people there already. Defendant, Miss Maya Fay, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I immediately arrested Miss Maya Fay. Why? We had a witness account describing her. The witness saw Miss Maya Fay at the very moment of her murder.
The very moment, you say? Very well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honour. Cross-examine what? I couldn't see a single contradiction in that testimony. Hey, Maya just threw something at me. What's this? When my sister couldn't find any contradictions in a witness testimony, she would bluff it and press the witness on every detail. The witness always slips up and says something wrong. It worked lots of times. I should have expected Maya would know some of her sister's tricks. Alright, let's give this a try.
Something the matter?
No, Your Honour, I'd like to begin my cross-examination. Who did you say you got a call from? Hey, pal, don't play dumb, you know who. The call was from a customer at the Gatewater Hotel, right? Across the crime scene. Okay, I press. I'm sure it did much though. Right, please continue.
Detective Gumshoe, how long would you say it took between you receiving the call and your arrival at the scene of the crime?
Right, I'd say it was about 3 minutes.
That's pretty fast.
Our motto this month is quick response. That's how I got there before the killer got away.
Indeed.
So, tell us who the 2 people you found on the scene were. Yes, sir.
Are you absolutely sure it was us? Oh, God.
Listen, pal, your dumb act only gets you so far. With her funky hippie clothes and your spiky hair, you 2 stand out like suspicious people at a crime scene.
No, he doesn't have a point about her. She is pretty unmistakable. I should pick my points to press with a little more care. And why is that? What's your reason? Hold on just 1 second.
Yeah?
If I heard correctly, you said you arrested her because you had hard evidence she did it, correct?
Huh? Did I say that? Me?
I heard you say it.
You did.
You did say it. Exactly what about the suspicious pink woman in Pink's claim? Great read, Wolfie, great read. Exactly what about the suspicious woman in Pink's claim was hard evidence?
What? Miss May isn't suspicious, and she sure isn't pink, pal. Well, I guess she is pink.
That's enough, Detective Gumshoe. Do you have any more solid proof other than her claims?
Guess pressing can have its advantages.
Yeah.
Shit.
Sorry, I got the order of things mixed up in my testimony, Your Honour, sir. There's something I should have told you about first, Your Honour.
Very well, Detective. Let's hear the testimony again.
After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime in my very eyes. I found a memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. On it, the word Maya, clearly written in blood. Lab test results showed the blood was the victim's. And also there was blood found on the victim's finger. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. How do you like that? There's my hard evidence.
Before we begin cross-examination, I have a question for you, Detective.
Your Honour.
Why didn't you testify about this vital piece of evidence the first time?
No, I'm really embarrassed. I forgot about it, Your Honour, sir.
Try to be more careful. Very well, the defence may begin the cross-examination.
Find any evidence?
Nah, don't shove the gun on me, pal. Just listen, I'm getting to the good part.
I've got a bad feeling about this. Just because you found it next to the body doesn't mean the victim wrote it.
Who did write it then, Smarty Pants?
Who? The killer. Anyone can see that.
You're saying the killer wrote her own name? Buddy, please.
She was framed.
Hold on. If that's the case, where's your evidence? I guess that was a bit of a tall order for you. Those without evidence shouldn't open their mouths, Mr. Wright.
Yeah, pal.
Well, Detective, tell us what was written on the memo you found.
Do you have proof it was Mia who wrote that?
Of course I do, pal.
Oh, you sounded pretty confident. This might not be good. What kind of tests were these again?
What kind? Well, I hear they take the, little bits in the blood, the hermogoblins, hermogoblin boblin. I refuse to testify on this matter, pal. I'm not an expert on blood tests.
Yes, that is quite clear. You may continue with your testimony.
Thanks, pal. Only your honour, sir.
Detective Gumshoe,
Yeah?
I look forward to your next evaluation, as should you.
Oh,
That was a mess.
right. Where was I? The blood found the victim's finger.
On which hand was the bloody finger, Detective?
The right hand.
She was right-handed.
Ha! Nice try.
Guess it wasn't too hard to see what I was getting at there. Detective Gumshoe, do you get a lot of cases where the victim actually writes the killer's name?
Sure, happens all the time in books and the movies.
This isn't a movie, Detective.
Oh,
Let's talk about reality, shall we?
I guess I haven't heard many cases, no.
Don't you find it a little odd that the victim would write down a name? Especially the name of her own sister?
Yeah, actually, you got a point now.
Stop right there. The witness's opinion on the matter is irrelevant. The facts are clear. The victim wrote down the name of the accused. The victim told us the name of her killer.
Order!
That didn't go so well.
That's right, what he said.
That's his whole testimony. Okay, there has to be a contradiction there somewhere. Death was instantaneous. If the death is instantaneous, they don't have time to write down a name. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. There we go. Objection! Detective Gumshoe, there's one thing I want you to clarify for me here. You say the victim, Mia Fey, wrote this note. That she was accusing the defendant, Maya Fey. That's really what you're saying.
What? This isn't one of those lawyer tricks now, is it? Of course she wrote it, who else could have?
You have it backwards, Detective.
Backwards?
The victim is the only person who absolutely could not have written it. This is a report from your department, Detective. Immediate death due to a blow from a blunt object. She died immediately.
But...
No butting your way out of this one, Detective.
defense has a point. Someone who died immediately would not have had the time to write anything down.
Mr. Wright, I beg your pardon, but when exactly did you obtain that autopsy report? When? Shit, was it the day of or the day after? It was the day after, wasn't it? Day after the murder.
The prosecution's point being...
That autopsy report is outdated, Your Honour. What? A second autopsy was performed yesterday at my request. Death was almost immediate due to a blow from a blunt object. But there is a possibility the victim lived for several minutes after the blow. I received these results this morning. No way! Your Honour, it's quite easy to imagine the victim did have time to write Maya. That is all.
I see.
Damn you, Edgeworth. I should have known you'd have something up your sleeve.
Why, Mr. Wright, you look shocked. Something you want to say?
Mr. Edgeworth, I've heard there's nothing you won't do to get your verdict. What reason could you possibly have had to request a second autopsy report?
Mr. Wright, the defense will refrain from personal attacks on the prosecution.
No matter, Your Honour. Mr. Wright, say what you will, the evidence in this report is undeniable. Your Honour, I submit this report to the court.
Understood. The court accepts the evidence.
Well, Your Honour, the evidence strongly suggests the victim was identifying the killer.
I suppose that is an obvious conclusion, yes.
Damn, this isn't good. The prosecution would like to call its next witness. This poor innocent girl saw the murder with her own eyes.
Let the witness, Miss April May, take the stand.
Exactly what part of her is innocent? Witness, your name, please. April May, at your service.
Order! An introduction should not require any reaction from the crowd. The witness will refrain from wanton winking.
Oh, yes, Your Honour. This is not good. She's already captured the heart of every man in the courtroom.
Tell us, where were you on the night of September the 5th when the murder occurred?
Oh, gee, I was like in my hotel room. I checked in right after lunch. And this hotel is directly across from the Fay & Co. Law Office? Mm-hmm. That's right, big boy.
Please testify to the court about what you saw.
was like 9 at night. I looked at the window, you know. And then, oh, I saw a woman with long hair being attacked. The one attacking her was the mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair. Then the woman, dodged to a side and ran away. But that girl caught up and hit her. Oh. The woman with the long hair, she kind of slumped. The end. That's all I saw. Every little bitsy witsy.
Well, Your Honour, I see it's a remarkably solid testimony. I don't see a need to trouble the witness any...
Wait, Your Honour.
Yes, Mr. Wright?
What about my cross-examination?
I thought the witness's testimony right now was quite, firm. Didn't you?
Dirty old bastard.
Mr. Wright, I understand you were Miss Mia Fey's understudy, were you not? You must know her techniques well. Her cowardly way of finding tiny faults in perfectly good testimonies.
Hey, how dare you!
Well, Mr. Wright, will you cross-examine the witness?
Yes, I fucking will. Gladly proceed with the cross-examination. If only because I have a feeling Edgeworth doesn't want me to. She has to have some weakness.
Very well, you may begin your cross-examination.
Why'd you do that?
Huh? Why? Why what?
Why'd you look out the window? Were you expecting to see something?
Gee.
What? That's it? She can't even get out of this question that easily?
I sort of, you know, had a feeling.
Well, I have a feeling she's trying to avoid the question. Maybe I should press harder on this one. Let's see how far I can run with this. Surely you must have had a reason to look out your window at that time of night.
Mr. Wright, I will not have you badgering my witness.
Badgering?
You insist on needling her with these trivial questions. I really don't think it should be allowed.
Yeah, stop him, the poor girl.
Order! Mr. Wright, you have been warned.
Poor girl? What about poor me?
You looked out the window, and what did you see next?
Long hair being attacked. The woman with long hair. That was Mia Fey.
Mm-hmm. Slender. Sort of, well, some might say pretty, if that's your thing.
Your thing?
And the person attacking her?
How do you know she was the defendant?
Huh? Well, you know, she had a girlish physique. Women know these things. Look, I just know, okay?
There was only one person at the scene of the crime with a short, girlish figure. The testimony is bulletproof, Your Honor.
Hold on a minute, that testimony stinks.
What?
Miss May, I am willing to bet that... Are you telling the truth? Did you really see the defendant?
Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this?
Yes, what's the meaning? Somebody tell me. I'm clueless about this. I mean...
Okay. If you had really witnessed my client, Maya Fay, you would have noticed her clothes before noticing her physique. No one wears clothes like this on a daily basis, except her. And I'm no expert on fashion, but her hairdo looks far from normal to me. However, the witness testimony mentions neither of these things. The testimony's bogus.
But...
Still, we don't know if she was dressed that way the night of the murder.
She was, Your Honour. I saw her, and so did Detective Gumshoe. What do you say to that, Miss May?
What are you trying to say, you mean lawyer? I saw what I saw. I just didn't think all the trifling details were necessary, darling.
Miss May, the court would like to remind you to please omit nothing in your testimony.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'll be a good girl, I promise.
Your testimony again, if you would.
Ah, I almost had her.
I did see everything, I did. The victim, the woman, dodged the first attack and ran off to the right. Then the girl in the hippie clothes ran after her. And she hit her with that weapon. I saw it, I did. That clock, statuary clock, the thinker, I think. Well, does the accuracy of my report not startle you?
I see. I only wish you'd been so detailed from the beginning. Please begin the cross-examination.
So you saw me then too?
Of course. I remember that spiky hair anywhere.
Spiky?
The witness will refrain on personal attacks on the defense attorney.
Oh, wasn't I a bad girl? I'm sorry.
Very well. Continue.
Is that right as in you're right, as you looked from the hotel?
Which hand do I hold my knife in again? Right, my right hand, right?
Satisfied, Mr. Wright? Please continue.
How convenient for you to remember her hippie clothes now.
That's what you... I mean, it's what she was wearing. Oh, her hair was all done up in a bun.
What happened then?
Where did this weapon come from?
She picked it up from the desk.
I see. And what sort of weapon was it?
How can you know it was a clock? A clock? Didn't this come up in another testimony recently?
Well, don't look so sour, Mr. Lawyer. You can't win them all.
No, but I have a feeling I'm onto something now. Aha! Miss May, what you said just now was quite revealing.
Revealing? Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? Naughty Mr. Lawyer.
You just said that this statue of the thinker was a clock. There's no way of knowing that just by looking at it. Another person in much the same position as you recently called this a clock too. And he was found guilty of murder.
Order!
Miss May, can you explain how you know this was a clock?
The witness saw the murder with her own eyes. That's all that's important here. The defense is trying to confuse the issue with trivial concerns. Yes, of course. You will withdraw your question, Mr. Wright.
But questions are all I have, Your Honour. And as you may recall, I've caught murderers with these questions before. Well, once.
Objections sustained. You may continue to question the witness.
That was close. If you stopped me there, the trial would be over.
Huh? So what happens now?
What happens now is you answer my question. How did you know it was a clock?
What? That's, because I heard it? Yes, I heard it say the time.
So you've been to the law offices of Fay & Co.
No, I didn't say that. Why would I go there? I heard it from my hotel room.
The law offices of Fay & Co., where the murder took place, is very close to the hotel. She could have easily heard the clock. Well, Mr. Wright, are you satisfied?
No, Your Honour. I'm not satisfied because she couldn't have heard it. You were at the hotel. There's no way you could have heard a clock go off in a building next door.
You have proof that she could not.
Yes, the clockwork was taken out.
Amateurs, amateurs. Listen to me, Mr. Wright. In the courtroom, proof is everything. Without it, you have nothing. You are nothing.
Then I'd like to propose a test to see if it really could have been heard.
The prosecution denies your request.
What? On what grounds?
This is a trivial matter with no direct bearing on the case at hand. Indeed, objection sustained.
Damn! Time to switch direction, quick.
Ready to proceed, Mr. Wright?
No, Your Honour. Give up now. I'm not satisfied because it couldn't have even rung. Your Honour, members of the court, it is inconceivable the clock in the question ran. It's empty. The clock is missing its clockwork.
How could you possibly?
Just take a look, right now.
Oh,
See anything interesting, Your Honour?
it is as the defense says. The clock is missing its clockwork. It's quite empty. Mr. Wright, would you care to explain to the court the meaning of this?
It is as you can see. The clock was empty. It couldn't have rung. Therefore, this witness is a big, fat liar.
Facts?
Well, Miss May?
Quite a show you put on for us, Mr. Wright.
He knew the clock was empty. Somehow he knew.
I'm afraid you've forgotten one thing, however. Indeed, the clock is empty, as you say, and can't ring. However, we must ask, when was the clockwork removed? It was after the witness heard the clock. There is no contradiction. That's true. That is a possibility. The clock might have been emptied after she heard it. And that's exactly what happened, Your Honour. Well, Mr. Wright, can you prove when the clockwork was removed?
Yes, I can.
Impossible, of course.
I have proof.
What?
Wasn't it you who told me proof is everything? Well, I was listening. And now I'll show you the proof you like so much. The evidence that proves when the clock was removed is in the telephone.
Take that!
Take a look at this.
That's a very cute cell phone.
Ooh, you have a girly phone.
Wait, it's not my phone. Listen. This is the defendant's cell phone and it contains a recording. A recording of a conversation she had with the victim the day of the murder.
Order, order!
The defendant's cell phone?
This wasn't brought to my attention.
Perhaps Detective Gumshoe overlooked it.
The detective better remember he's up for evaluation soon.
I gotta say, I'm starting to feel bad for the big fella. Let's hear the conversation. So you just want me to hold on to the thinker for you then? If you could. I should probably tell you the clock isn't talking right now. Huh? It's not working? That's lame. I had to take the clockwork out, sorry. September 5, 9:27 a.m. Your Honour, I think this makes it clear the clockwork was already gone by the time this was recorded. Which was well before the witness even arrived at the hotel. Well, Miss May, would you care to explain this to the court? Just how did you know that the weapon was a clock?
Well, isn't it obvious? I saw the clock before. What store was it again? I go to so many. Oops, I forgot.
So the witness had seen it before, that makes sense. Does the defence have any objections, Mr. Wright?
Yes, it's a one-of-a-kind item, or two-of-a-kind. The witness claims to have seen it before, but this directly contradicts a piece of evidence already submitted to the court.
Well then, let's see it. Please produce the evidence that will prove the witness had not seen the clock.
Made by Larry Butts. Simple. This clock was never in any store, ever.
What?
A friend of mine made that clock. Only two exist in the world, and the one that isn't here is in police custody.
Impossible. Everything's sold in stores.
Miss May, I think it's high time you went shopping for a better excuse. Oh, excuse is not on sale today?
What's it to you, porcupine head? The stupid clock doesn't matter, okay? She did it, and she should die for it! Die!
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is a court of law and the witness will remain calm.
Silly me. Did I lose it? I guess I did.
Scary.
Miss May, let me ask. Tell me, how did you know the weapon was a clock? Oh dear. Does the defence have an opinion on this behaviour?
Okay, this is it. Yes, Your Honour, allow me to explain how I see the truth of the matter. Miss April May, you knew the weapon was a clock because... Oh. You held it? Miss May held the very clock in her hands.
Mr. Wright, when was this?
When she used it to strike the victim, when else?
Order! Mr. Wright, what's the meaning of this?
April May, you killed Mia Fey, I say. And when you struck, the force of the impact made the thinker ring. That's when you heard it.
You truly are a work of art, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What's that supposed to mean?
It was you who just proved the thinker was empty.
Oh, of course it wouldn't ring.
What's more, the witness has a rock-solid alibi. Miss May, perhaps you could explain to the poor misguided Mr. Wright that you were in the hotel at the time of the murder.
She can't prove it. She did it.
It would be my pleasure.
No way.
Yes, way, Mr. Lawyer. Didn't the murder take place at 9 at night? Gee, that's the exact time I ordered some room service from the hotel bellboy.
Incidentally, the bellboy corroborates the witness's story. Ergo, she was not at the scene of the crime. Rock solid. Mr. Wright, you have just made a serious accusation against a perfectly innocent woman.
Sorry, Your Honour. That didn't go so well. But if that's the case, how did she know the thinker was a clock? Wait. Your Honour, I figured it out. There is one other way Miss April May could have known it was a clock. One way alone, I have proof.
Proof, you say? And the court will examine your proof, Mr. Wright. How did the witness know the thinker was a clock?
Oh, the wiretap!
Duh! Idiots!
Have a look at this.
Oh, that's it.
I found it in Miss May's room.
Mr. Wright, please explain to the court what this is.
Miss April May, you were tapping the victim, Miss Mia May's phone, weren't you?
Your Honour, that is irrelevant. I'm not entirely sure that it is. Objection overruled. It troubles me our witness was in possession of a wiretap. This is outrageous. Does the defence truly claim the witness was tapping her phone?
Absolutely.
Even if that was the case, which is not, you still have to prove one thing. Did the victim ever say the weapon was a clock on the phone? Can you prove that? I think not.
Oh yeah, I think I can. It's simple.
What?
Here's my proof. The proof the victim said on the phone the weapon was a clock is the phone itself. I present the defendant's cell phone.
Yes, we've seen that.
Listen once more to the conversation between the defendant and the victim. Mia, what's up? You haven't called in a while. Well, actually, there's something I want you to hold on to for me. Again, what's it this time? It's a clock. Made to look like that statue, the thinker, and it tells you the time. Miss April May, you used a wiretap to listen to this conversation. That's how you knew the thinker was a clock. Am I wrong?
Your Honour, this is ridiculous.
Your Honour, look at the witness's face. Does she seem amused to you? The defence demands an answer.
Witness, answer the question. Did you tap her phone? Miss May!
Shut up, all of you! What gives you the right to talk to me like that, you lawyer? It's not fair that you gang up on me like that. Oh, so I'm the bad girl, is that it? Is that it?
That did it. The court's seen the real Miss April May now. Now to deal the final blow.